What's up guys, Unseen Protagonist here to live commentate you for a revenge match. Cyberse versus Cyberdragon. Me on the left playing Cyberse and the opponent playing Cyberdragon. He's one of my students named Zach. Shouts to him. Also, I do want to make this clear for everyone, especially for him. We did play a match off camera. He did beat me. Well, it was on camera, but I screwed something up and it somehow got removed. I think I might still have it. I'll see if I can post it if you guys want. He definitely beat me in a few times, so this is kind of like set 3. So as you see, we got our hands opened up. So Cyberse on the left for me, and for Zach on the right with Cyberdragons. So I think they had it where I went first, yep. So I normal summon Balance Lord, easy opening. You pay 1,000 life points to do 1 additional normal summon. So I found that pretty convenient. So, and hopefully you guys can see the life points there. If you guys can't, I'll see if I can crop it out. So I additional normal summon Microcoder. Then I activate Codec, so when I play a Code Talker from the extra deck, I can search a Cyberse for the same attribute. And I think that's where I explain it, so. And I link off into, I think, just Code Talker. Yep, Code Talker. So I search a Dark Attribute Cyberse type monster, and then Microcoder, I think I made this go first. I add a Science Spell track card, or since it was sent from the field to the graveyard as link material, I can search a level 4 lower Cyberse type monster. So I add Sign at Conflict. Usually I would go for optimization for the going first board, and I add Cyberse Synchron. I was doing it for the Synchro setup. Reason why I search for Conflict instead of optimization, typically I go for optimization. I search for Conflict simply because it was a going second deck, and usually Cyberdragons tend to fall apart if you hit the right thing. Not to mention they're banished, since sometimes they have small graveyard reliance and such. Then I use Microcoder in my hand to link summon. Also, FYI for you guys, I can't do the search again of Microcoder. I can use the hand as material. I just couldn't do the search. So then I used Codec to search for transcode for an Earth attribute. He ashed me, unfortunately. I'm kind of surprised he didn't do it earlier. He probably would have stopped. He probably would have had more impactful play. But I used Transcode Talker's effect to revive Code Talker. So I just set up a lock to where Code Talker couldn't be destroyed in battle or card effects, let alone target, and Transcode simply unable to target. And that is where I explain it to Zach here. But game state wise, I think it looks like I had a solid build. I set a card. I'm sure you guys knew what it was since I just mentioned it earlier. So Zach here on the right goes first. Or goes second, excuse me. My bad. Sometimes I get rushed in the game, sometimes I lose track of turn numbers and who the heck went first. So he normal summons the core. He uses the effect to search a Cyberse spell or track card, if I remember right. That's what it does. I was considering negating it or not. I allowed it simply because I was more likely able to stop the card he was searching. So I'd rather have a monster that he couldn't do much with other than giving him like an extra search or a special summon. And while it looks like he's doing the searching here, I just want to let you guys know, please like and subscribe. Click the bell if need be. I'm pretty sure I labeled it to where you can click the bell and get notifications. And feel free to leave some comments. Maybe you can leave some criticism for me or for my opponent. Or maybe you have new content ideas. Maybe you're interested in it. I can do a little more deck profiles. I did post a Mech Knight video earlier, so be sure to check that out, guys. It is honestly one of the most interesting decks I've ever seen. It was an undefeated deck. Amazing. But anyway, I forgot what he searched, but I think it was a Cyber Repair Plant, if I remember correctly. And he pitched Devere, especially with Nastier. Yeah, that's what happened. And I think he was playing in front of Transco hopes to gain the effect for the buff and can't be targeted, and I told him, nope, co-linked. Let's see. And it looks like he links him off. I think I know. Yeah, I remember now. He's going into Vert Anaconda. Yep, Vert Anaconda. So he pays 2,000 life points to mill a fusion spell under the condition he couldn't special summon. So I said, alright, go ahead, do your cost. Then I flipped over the counter to Sign of Conflict. I decided this would be the perfect time simply because he would lose life points for nothing. That might be a little competitive casual mindset, but to me that just seemed an optimal move. And he couldn't activate the effects anymore for Anaconda, but typically with something like that, you'd probably have one unless you're playing Extravagance. So he banishes core because he has no monsters, he can play a Cyber Dragon from the deck. To me, I found this kind of a good play, nice recovery. And what is the activated Rev system? So it revives a Cyber Dragon and it can't be destroyed in card effects. So quite the convenient card at this stage. So it revives Veer. So while it's out, all special summon Cyber Dragons gain 500 attack. So he was trying to, I think what he was trying to aim for was try to pummel over my monsters. Unfortunately though, my transcode had 200 more at the time, unlike its Cyber Dragon. So I think he was trying to figure out a way to out it. So unfortunately Veer's at level 4. So he couldn't do an infinity play. To be honest, it wouldn't really matter personally unless he had enough to take out transcode simply because you couldn't target them and Kotar couldn't die in battle. So I think he might have just sat on it if I remember right. Let's see here. I was gonna say he definitely takes his time. Let's say what did he play? He played Cyberload, so he's gonna do another fusion summon. I think he was considering doing it as he's still learning the Cyber Dragon deck. I think he's really good with it. He did top our locals, so I think it's safe to say he has potential as a duelist. Even so, like, that doesn't hide the fact that some of us players here, we don't know our decks very well. I'm sure I made a few misplays with this deck too, even though I feel like I know the Cyberse deck very well. So that's my main deck I want to showcase you guys for the deck. If you guys want deck profiles, be sure to show it. I also play Salamgrates competitively, so if you guys want to check that out, go right ahead. Well, I do play Axis Kotaker, so technically I'm playing Kotakers. And yeah, and I think he decided to hold off on the play. So I think he wanted to play Cyberload in hopes of doing something else, but I think he wanted to go into Rampage, but that probably wasn't the optimal play. Yeah, so on this situation, he probably would have draw Veer in defense, or at least put Cyber Dragon in defense, simply because he have a little defense. So I think this is the part where I start pummeling him at this point, simply just outpowering him and trying to get rid of the Veer to even out the damage. So yeah, I don't think I did the timing right, but I think that was a good play. Yeah, I dealt 200. Oh, I might have miscalculated here. He's supposed to take 200, not 100. Darn. But yeah, anyway, on with the duel. So at this point, I kind of sat on the Transco Kotaker beatdown. Simply, to me, I just felt like I had a good grasp of the game flow. So I wanted to sit on it and conserve my hand. So in case he does clear my board, since I was at 7,000 life points, I had a solid state. So I can conserve my hand and make another play afterwards. So it's kind of like one of those wall-like plays. And then yeah, again, I sit on the Kotaker transcode lock. And yeah, 2000, yeah. And I had a friend visiting us who's interested in joining our community. She saw the 100 life point. She's like, "Oh, you better watch out." I found that kind of funny. And Zach goes, I think that looked like a repair plant, I think. Unfortunately, at this point, I didn't really have any negates. So at this point, I kind of just allowed him to do his thing, since he was unlikely to break that board. Surprisingly, simply because preventing stuff being targeted, I noticed that can somewhat stop Cyber Dragons when you're trying to do the simple suck-up OTK play with Infinity. Since Infinity is a crazy powerful card for this game, very underrated too in my personal opinion. Yeah, it looks like he activated a repair plan. I think he's trying to search for a light machine monster. And he searched for Eltanin. So for those of you who don't know, Eltanin's kind of an underrated card. I personally think it's not good, but it seems to work out well for him. He can banish all the light machine type monsters from his field and graveyard to special summon it. And he gains 500 attack points for each one. And then when it's special summon, he sends all monsters from the field to the graveyard. So that was a good play on his part, simply because Kotaker and Transcode, well, Kotaker couldn't be destroyed, but they couldn't be targeted. So it doesn't target, as well, it does not destroy either. So Altan just sent them to the grave. So he cleared my board just like that. So that was an impressive play on his part, and he dealt a little damage to me. I think it was just 1500 though. That's kind of the downside of Eltanin though, in my opinion. Simply because so much setup for what, a 1500 attack. Still a good card though, especially in this situation. I think that's why I wanted to play that grind game to keep my hand intact, to push forward. And so I'm also in debug, And I tend to use the effect. I guess I was trying to flex a little bit, but if you guys see, I'm kind of one of those underrated players. It's likely I had game already because Altan was 1500, debug 17, and if you look, the life points was 100 for him. So I just said, all right, attack for game. So that was game one there, and it looks like we're about ready to set up. So I did want to talk about a few things though for my channel's future. I did kind of have a few setups though. I haven't thought about a lot far yet. However, though, I did want to like set a rule though for myself for deck lists because I'm sure you guys don't want to see Cyberse themed decks all over the place. Like any other duelist, I find decks that interest me outside of the archetype. Like for example, though, one of them was Heroes. I might pretend to make that. Generators spiked a little bit interest to me. And what else? Maybe ninjas. Honestly, like a bunch of other things. I did want to take on the challenge of making a deck that was meta on Duel Links. I do play Duel Links, by the way. See if I can make it good in the TCG. Invoked Neos was one I was considering. Potentially maybe Ritual Beasts or Blackwings. You name it. Let me know in the comments. But anyway, so for every 1,000 subscribers, I'll go ahead and make a poll for 3 decks. I'll let you guys pick about which decks you want. Whoever has the highest vote wins. I'll see what I can do if I can make the deck and such. And also, I do have online simulators I wouldn't mind using to screenshot the decks and show them off if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, it looks like Game 2 is about to start, but I just want to share with you. Ooh, and about maybe 3,000 subscribers, I'll go ahead and do a face reveal. Just an outline. I'll obviously say during the commentary videos that plans change, but that's kind of my plan right now. So I think that makes me go first again. So I go ahead. I think I go for the ritual play. So I normal summon debug and use the effect. I always have issues figuring out what to search, but I usually go for backup secretary. It's honestly just an easy 2-card combo when you search backup secretary for a lot of things, really, now that I think about it. Usually the ritual combo, when I used to play rituals, when I played Cyberse Ritual, I always normal summon debug, searched out backup secretary, played a random spell, and got magician. But so the backup secretary gets special summoned per its effect. Then I link them off. I think I go into Witch? Or no, Wicked. Wicked's the one that helps me search the Cyberse tuner, so Cyberse Synchron in this case. Unfortunately, though, I didn't really have a good hand, though. I didn't really have any spells, so I banished both my Cyberse to play Degrade Buster. So what he does, he targets a monster on the field that's higher than attacker, while the opponent has higher attack than it. It just banishes until the end phase. So this is where I feel really bad, but I'll go ahead and let the action do itself here. Like, honestly, I felt I didn't really feel so good doing it, but of course though, great play and such. But yeah, it takes time thinking how can you break the board. Not really that hard, really. So, but yeah. So he pitched hers to special summon Nashtir, and he used the effect of hers to search a Cyber Dragon. He searched it for the OG Cyber Dragon, so. Then he special summoned, or I think he was a normal summon Veer, if I remember right. If it was, he probably might have missed a little timing simply because of the fact he was supposed to say, oh, Chainlink 2, Chainlink 1. But I think he intended to normal summon. If not, special summon, he had a 700 attack Nashtir and a 1600 attack Veer. What else? Yeah, this is kind of the moment where he sits down and thinks, how can I break this board? And yeah, I mean, you can kind of see my hand a little bit there. I think I got a Code Radiator and a Dotscaper, and I have yet to use regular Code Talker, so I had a little bit of setup there. And then, this might have been illegal play, but he discards such a second Nashtir. I think it was an activated effect to do it, because this was a hard once per turn. Let me know in the comments what it was. I just said sure, because at the shop that we go to, one of my valued teammates, very nice guy, he was helping a guest at the time, so we couldn't really ask for judge assistance since I'm not perfect this game. No one's perfect. Of course, like in this game, that's why I love this game so much. We always have room to improve and learn. I think this is probably one of them. So let me know what you guys think in the comments if that was allowed. So he tended to play Cyberload Fusion, so I think he just shuffled his whole field back. And one of his personal favorites, I think, was the Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. It can attack multiple times equal to the number of fusion materials, so 4, and then 800 times the fusion materials, which makes it 3200. And the reason why he put him there is I think because he wanted to keep going back into the deck, so he put it back. Of course, like, since it's a casual match, I just said sure, whatever. But yeah. Yeah, he shovels his back. I don't think he was going to go back into full combo, but yeah, no, I'm sure you guys can see it. Chimera Tech rose over to Grey Buster's attack points, so he's probably, I think he's about to bite the big one here. So I think if I just allowed it through, do that, the 3200 quadruple attack, that would put it at 12,800 damage. He could just smack my Wicked a few times and it would have been game. So at this point in my current state, I really didn't have a choice. Yeah, I only have one card in hand. That's the downside of OTK decks. Sometimes you gotta go all out to break the board. Yep, and he normal summons C card. Oh, and he was wondering the ruling about how it works. I guess for all the beginner players, if you use an equip card, it goes into spell and trap zone. It's not where you throw it under the card. That would cause a lot of conspiracies. You know, in the interest of battle phase, he attempts to attack Wicked. I used Degrade Buster to outright banish it since it had more attack points than Degrade. And then, if I remember right, since it came back, it would be a new monster. However, it would have 0 attack points. So, excellent play, personally. Of course, I'm sure I probably would have done something a little better with that hand dealt to me. But, yeah, no, and then I just say, yeah, it's got 0 attack. And then this is where I kind of go for my evolved signature card. Or should I say, the extended version. So I link 3 into Deco Talker Extended. So, yeah, I like Deco Talker. It's one of my personal favorite Link monsters. So much fun with those cards, especially when I can... Honestly, so many hilarious plays can be dealt with this card. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it competitively, but it's a fun deck. So when Doscare hits the GY, I can special summon it, and when I play it next to a Link, CR card revives from the graveyard. Or from the hand, excuse me, because I played it from the hand. Then Deco Talker, when he destroys a monster in battle next to a Link, he can attack again. So then I had Degrade Buster 2, so that put him at 1700? Yeah, 1700. And then OTK for game with Degrade Buster. So I hope you guys like it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, let me know whatever you guys want for the next video for deck profiles and such. Let me know. Bye!